have 11 minutes, just a few clicks more than that, to come back from a 2-0 deficit.
And they're going to have to step up in pressure and keep them on the side of the field. They cannot no longer step back and actually let them come out.
We're going to see a bit of a more aggressive style of field hockey from the Minutewomen. A bit of a more no-holds-barred style of field hockey. There's nothing to lose now.
No, and you have to step up. You have to step up because you need the ball in order to score. So you have to step up, make them make mistakes. And that's one thing that St. Joseph's done an excellent job with. They've put the pressure on UMass. They've made UMass create some unforced errors, and they've taken advantage of them.
McGuire down the far sideline. The A-10 Rookie of the Year feeding inside. Anna Willix turns, tried to take a backhand shot, couldn't get it off cleanly. Hawkshaw comes through to take the ball away. A whistle resets things. Minutewomen with possession. Melanie Kirsch setting things up from that center defensive position. McTeer, some nice moves up the near sideline. Gets past Olenjinsky. McTeer has some space. Dekes inside and has it knocked loose. Nicole Fenton has done some nice work on that near sideline when McTeer's tried to make some runs.
Yeah, they haven't allowed her to get any speed. They've taken away her speed. They've taken away her space. And they've made her put her head down, so which means she can't really see much.
DeJong off to Stillman. Looking for Dykstra. And Fenton is there again. 9.5 to play. Winner earns the automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. A place the Hawks haven't been in over 20 years.
St. Joe's is doing an excellent job just receiving that ball, finding the open player, putting it through, playing a little bit of keep away from UMass right now. UMass has to work a little bit more as a team and move as a unit in order to get this ball back.
Perhaps a chance now. Anna Dykstra takes over after the turnover. Olenjinsky comes up big again. Had the ricochet to score the goal, the assist on Emily Henry's goal. She certainly stands out with that bright yellow stick. It's a contrast against those maroon socks.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good style there.
Her, yes.
It's 2-0 St. Joseph's. Olenjinsky with a score, Emily Henry with a score. Stillman inside the circle and loses control over the end line. Under 8 minutes to play. It's 2-0 St. Joseph's. This the A-10 championship title game from the Gladchuck Sports Complex in Amherst. UMass playing on their home turf. And the Hawks firmly in control. DeJong picks off a feed inside from Serrano. Hawkshaw in space. Let's see what she can do. Been called the most talented player on the field by Barb Weinberg, the UMass head coach. McTeer stuffed by Emily Henry.
St. Joe's doing an excellent job of just making UMass play free hit to free hit.
And a long hit there intercepted by Tice, right in the middle of the field. Bit of a low percentage pass, trying to traverse the pitch. Kersey tried a bit of a low percentage angle there.
Yeah.
Did all she could to pick off that pass in the back line. Everybody on the right side of midfield except for Georgie McTeer for the Minutewomen. Now Kirchstock's back. Garber working inside, bouncing toward the cage. Dykstra wasn't in good position. Minutewomen get the ball at the 25, under 7 minutes to play. Hawkshaw trying to get around Serrano. And Serrano wins the battle. She has been terrific throughout this entire tournament, especially today.
Outstanding stick work by Serrano. She just waits. She knows exactly what Sarah Hawkshaw is trying to do there on that end line. Trying to put it into her feet. She does a great job of protecting her feet, comes out with the ball, and then works it 1-on-3 and gets her team the free hit.
Pepa Serrano's contributions might not show up in the box score. Doesn't have a goal, doesn't have an assist. But the way that she's been a facilitator on offense and on defense, stopping the Minutewomen attacks, has been incredibly impressive.
Yeah, she has actually controlled their game. She's controlled their midfield, and she's actually anchored both the defense and the offense. She's done an outstanding job.
First team All A10 this year, was the Rookie of the Year last year. McTeer tries to center, gets stuffed, moves inside the circle. McTeer backing down and earns the corner. Now this might be the breaking point for UMass. If the Minutewomen can convert here, well, this match changes dramatically.
Changes a little, brings some momentum back, and just means that St. Joe's has to do a little bit more to possess the ball, a little bit more to just put an end to this game. But UMass, they have to execute on this corner. This is really important. They need to make Cameronco play the ball in order to have an opportunity.
Victoria Cameronco, first team All A10, co-defensive player of the year in the A10, along with Melanie Kirsch, who waits at the top of the circle. Lucy Cooper on the end line. Minutewomen trailing 2-0, under 5 minutes left. Comes out to Stillman, bit of a sloppy hit. Kirsch takes a shot, it bounces off a defender. McTeer didn't have a chance for a second try. The Minutewomen do, however.
Yeah, it hit the foot of St. Joe's defender there, so UMass gets another penalty corner. Need to have a little bit better execution on the insert, and then Mira Stillman has to put this ball down dead.
Cameronco with over 100 saves on the season. Another chance on the penalty corner for UMass. It comes out to DeJong, takes a hit, ricochet, kicked away by Cameronco. Another try now for UMass. Looks like that one bounced off Anna Willix in the center of the circle.
Yeah, it was another miss trap of the ball. So UMass has to take it, has to ad-lib, and they're able to get another penalty corner.
Third, still inside the 25. And Serrano pokes it out of bounds. Hawkshaw inside the circle, taken away once again. St. Joseph's defense has been terrific.
They've been outstanding. They've helped each other out. They've communicated. They've covered for each other. And there, a penalty corner called based on an intentional hit over the end line. So St. Joe's just does a big, huge swipe of the ball, goes over the end line. They call that an intentional clearance over the end line, so UMass has another penalty corner. UMass needs to execute this penalty corner. This is their home field. They should be able to do a little bit better on their penalty corner execution.
Scored 15 goals off penalty corners this season, and this the latest in a slew. Bit of a change here, goes directly to Hawkshaw. She takes a shot. Cameronco bounces it away, but it's not good enough. UMass puts it in the goal.
They're actually going to talk about this one. They're going to see if it was a deflection or not.
The officials conferring, taking another look. If the goal stands, UMass trails 2-1 with 2:20 left.
And basically, I saw a shot that came in.
And it's good.
It was deflected by a defender back. That's what put it in the air. I think St. Joe's thought that the ball, the initial ball right away, was raised up. But here it comes short, goes outside the circle, and that ball is actually deflected. Okay.
It was Lucy Cooper
by
on the
Lucy
deflection.
Cooper on the deflection, but I think that they thought she had her stick up way too high, but it was deflected up by the St. Joe's player, which allows for another goal. Here it is, nice.
That was one of the missed opportunities earlier on the penalty corners, but the Minutewomen able to finally convert on their latest attempt. And now you see some pressure from UMass, all standing around midfield. Need to take that ball away from St. Joseph's, trailing 2-1.
And UMass has actually pulled their goalkeeper and put Shauna Rankin-Byrne into a neutral shirt, and she will be the kicking back. So UMass effectively now has 11 field players.
It's 2-1 St. Joseph's as the clock strikes the 2-minute mark of our A-10 championship title game. Sarah Hawkshaw working with Lucy Cooper to get the UMass goal. For Cooper, it was her 6th goal of the season. Hawkshaw, her 3rd assist. And now UMass inside again. A chance for another penalty corner. And they've got to hurry. Under 2 minutes to play. A quick conference, and this is getting down to the wire and exciting, Patty.
Yeah, and this was a great play by Lucy Cooper. And actually, Mira Stillman made a lot happen on that play. She gave Georgie McTeer the space in order to run the end line, put that ball in. It was a great clearing cut, and then Lucy Cooper snuck in front of her defender, able to get a deflection on that ball into the foot.
Under 90 seconds left. UMass trailing 2-1 against St. Joseph's. It's Cooper on the end line. Ball comes out, it's stopped. McTeer, she takes a shot, and she ties the game! Georgie McTeer with the equalizer! We're tied at 2 with just over a minute left in our A-10 championship title game.
Outstanding execution on the penalty corner. Here it is, a great stop by Mira Stillman, and then Georgie Cooper puts a little bit of a lift, puts it right into the left.
Here, we were told she has an impact on penalty corners. That's where it was. Emily Hazard back in between the sticks for UMass, and after we were just 2 minutes away from crowning a champion, we're now a minute away from overtime.
And I think the important thing here.
Here comes Sarah Hawkshaw down the middle of the field. She has to reset.
The important thing here is about possession. UMass wants to push it forward. They now have the better half, but they want to make smart plays. They do not want to give St. Joe's a chance to take advantage of a miscue.
2 goals in the last 3 minutes for the Minutewomen have us tied at 2. Under a minute to play in the A-10 championship final. Krusch controlling on the back line. Feeds off to DeJong. Everything needs to be precise now for both teams. McTeer down the near sideline, poked away by Emily Henry. Clock still running.
Still plenty of time to get that ball into the scoring circle.
McTeer tries to make a move. Henry takes it away. A chance here for the Hawks, and McTeer from behind, able to knock it loose from Henry. Clock still running, under 20 seconds now. Pepa Serrano trying to reset quickly. Sends it down looking for McGuire.
And St. Joe's with them down a player, it's going to be really difficult.
Under 6 seconds to go. DeJong in the middle. Willix takes it away. 1 second left. And we're headed to overtime in the A-10 championship final. The Minutewomen score twice in the last 3 minutes to tie it up at 2. And we are headed for extra field hockey here at the Gladchuck Sports Complex. Overtime coming up next on the A-10 Network.
What's Magis? Taking a full course load, doing an internship, and still finding time for research. Giving up your weekend to give back. When coach asks for 50 reps, but you do 80. Knowing that you're never finished learning. When you can see that good enough simply isn't. That's the Magis. Live greater. St. Joseph's University.
Study in a small, beautiful place with some of the biggest thinkers in the world. Pursue your passion and engineer your future. Learn from our research experts alongside our faculty. Study abroad and become a global citizen. The University of Rhode Island offers endless opportunities for you to compete on any level, achieve academic excellence, and make a difference in our world.
UMass Amherst students go on to win Academy Awards, Emmy Awards, and Grammy Awards. We win Nobel and Pulitzer Prizes. We win NBA championships, football titles, Stanley Cup championships, and Olympic gold medals. We get elected to public office and appointed to major posts. We've even flown in a spaceship 3 times. It's true what they say. Winners aren't born. They're made. UMass Amherst, the Commonwealth's flagship campus.
The job market is unpredictable. So I created my own job while I was still in school.
I feel like my community doesn't have a voice, so I speak up through my art.
There are potential health risks of being surrounded by smart technology, so we develop products that outsmart it.
The world's problems aren't waiting for me to graduate.
They're waiting to be solved.
That's how I make it real.
What's Magis? Taking a full course load, doing an internship, and still finding time for research. Giving up your weekend to give back. When coach asks for 50 reps, but you do 80. Knowing that you're never finished learning. When you can see that good enough simply isn't. That's the Magis. Live greater, St. Joseph's University.
Study in a small, beautiful place with some of the biggest thinkers in the world. Pursue your passion and engineer your future. Learn from our research experts alongside our faculty. Study abroad and become a global citizen. The University of Rhode Island offers endless opportunities for you to compete on any level, achieve academic excellence, and make a difference in our world.
UMass Amherst students go on to win Academy Awards, Emmy Awards, and Grammy Awards. We win Nobel and Pulitzer Prizes. We win NBA championships, football titles, Stanley Cup championships, and Olympic gold medals. We get elected to public office and appointed to major posts. We've even flown in a spaceship 3 times. It's true what they say. Winners aren't born. They're made. UMass Amherst, the Commonwealth's flagship campus.
The job market is unpredictable. So I created my own job while I was still in school.
I feel like my community doesn't have a voice, so I speak up through my art.
There are potential health risks of being surrounded by smart technology, so we develop products that outsmart it.
The world's problems aren't waiting for me to graduate.
They're waiting to be solved.
That's how I make it real.
Welcome back to the A10 championship title game. It's tied at 2 between St. Joseph's and UMass, and we are headed to overtime. 15-minute period, sudden death, golden goal wins the championship for either team. You can take a look at the last 2 goals for UMass. That's what tied this game late. UMass scoring twice in a span of 1 minute and 12 seconds. First, it was Lucy Cooper bouncing in a ricochet off Sarah Hawkshaw on the end line. And then on another penalty corner, really just a minute later, Georgie McTeer cracked it into the bottom left of the cage, beating Victoria Kamarinka and tying us at 2 apiece. Jordan Olenjinsky, Emily Henry scored earlier for St. Joseph's, but now it's anyone's game, Patty.
It's anyone's game. Overtime, you have 6 field players and a goalkeeper on each team, which makes the field really big. There's a lot of open space there. And on both of these teams, we have some really skilled players. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Quinn McGuire starts things off, drops it back to Monica Tice, and over to Peppa Serrano. Jake Eisenberg with you alongside the former A10 Coach of the Year, Patty Shea. And I'm curious how the strategy changes when it comes to overtime. You see more athletes and more space on the field.
You see a lot more athletes, a lot more space, and it's really, you need to figure out the times that you want to take that chance and penetrate and go forward, and the times that you want to sort of take the ball, maintain possession. So you don't want to give anybody a transition in order to come and have a free shot on goal, but yet you want to be able to create that transition.
This is the first A-10 championship title game to go to overtime since 2014. UMass lost to Richmond in that affair 1-0. Melanie Krusch anchoring the defense for the Minute Women.
And you'll see just a lot of cat and mouse, really. Want to maintain possession, close your space down, and then wait and pick your opportunity. You want to try to wrong foot the defense, pick your opportunity in order to go forward.
Krusch working things around. Here's Georgia McTeer, who had the equalizer very late in the second half. Anna Willix, Quinn McGuire, Peppa Serrano, Monica Tice on the attack for St. Joseph's.
And what was important for St. Joseph's right there, and they did an excellent job, was they just dropped back, let UMass pass it around because they were still down a player from regulation.
Jolie Helder working with Catherine Bentz, trying to set up the offense. Goes to Serrano in the middle. McGuire, a good touch in the middle. Gets around DeJong. McGuire using her speed. Left side of the stick. McGuire goes, gets it through. It goes through the goal. Was it too far behind?
It was outside the circle where the original deflection happened, so it doesn't count anything. But that was a great speed by Quinn McGuire. She had wonderful vision, 2 players upfield to help her.
McGuire battling again. The A-10 Rookie of the Year. Lucy Cooper takes it away. Back to DeJong. The Minute Women reset. Caught a break with a shot being too far outside the circle. That's the second time that a St. Joseph's apparent goal has been waved off in this match because of an infraction.
Yeah, and it's actually fortunate for UMass, unfortunate for St. Joe's, but that's why that scoring circle's there. You need to make sure the ball is inside that scoring circle. At least 1 millimeter of the ball has to be on the white for it to count.
2.5 minutes into our overtime period. We're tied at 2. St. Joseph's scored the lone goal in the first half, tacked on a second score early in the second half. And then UMass applied the pressure. A slew of penalty corners at the tail end of regulation. And in the span of 72 seconds, Lucy Cooper and Georgia McTeer both found the back of the cage to tie the game at 2. Contact there between Bentz and Sarah Hawkshaw.
And that ball goes UMass way because Sarah Hawkshaw actually had the ball on her stick as the St. Joe's player was going to swing and hit the ball towards the circle.
Everyone dropping back for St. Joseph's. Krusch bringing the ball up the field. Down the sideline, too far out in front of Georgia McTeer.
It's the right idea, trying to get the ball into space for Georgia McTeer. Just a little bit of a mishit.
Just about everybody on the field right now named to either the first, second, or rookie conference teams this season.
And this tells you how good the Atlantic 10 Conference field hockey has actually gotten to and the level that they had. It's a level of excellence that has been a long time coming, but these coaches and these programs have done an outstanding job.
Lynn Farquhar, in her 4th season with St. Joseph's, notched her 50th career win with the Hawks yesterday in a 7-2 victory over Richmond. She's already 4th all-time in program history in wins. UMass 2-0 winners over VCU yesterday behind first-year head coach Barb White. Juggling down the middle of the field. She's got Lucy Cooper. Feeds toward Cooper, the freshman. Cooper, nobody a beat. Can't put a shot on goal. Camaricka slides to send it away.
Actually, great anticipation by Camaricka. Came out, cut the angle, just took care of the loose ball.
That was a breakaway chance for UMass. Lucy Cooper just couldn't convert.
The one thing that's really important, and you will start to see, the depth of the benches become really important in overtime in field hockey because there's a lot of space to be running and a lot of breakaways, so you need some fresh legs on the field at all times.
10 minutes to play in our overtime period. 5 minutes have gone by. Krusch going back and forth with McTeer. McTeer, a move inside. McTeer still going. Goes toward Cooper inside the circle. Camaricka's there again. And now McGuire has a chance. She's got some space up the near sideline, working around Sophie DeJong, who trips her up. Excellent defense from Sophie DeJong. Sends it down to Nicole Kersey. She's come onto the field.
Yeah, Nicole Kersey just trying to back in, has that ball behind her. So it's great defense by St. Joe's. They're going to call third-party obstruction on that all the time.
Quinn McGuire comes off the field. Emily Peters now in. She feeds down to Willix. Tried to go back to Peters. Knocked away by Melanie Kirsch. Bressler on the field for UMass. Substitutions being made on both sides. We're tied at 2. It's overtime. A goal wins it. Not just the match, but the A-10 championship title. Kersey back to the defense. Let's Kirsch reset. Kirsch swinging inside. Ball bounces away toward Hawkshaw. McTeer recovers at the 25. Willix trips her up, and now Pepa Serrano has a chance to create. Had Emily Peters well out in front. Serrano some contact with DeYoung.
And that's actually a good play by DeYoung just to stop the play, stop the attack because they were down 2 defenders.
Serrano plays back to Catherine Bentz. UMass came storming back in the second half. Only had 1 shot in the first half, tallied 8 in the second half. In the first half for UMass, 1 penalty corner. Second half, 7. Shot from Willix, too wide.
Yeah, it's a great little, she had a wide open lane to the goal. Anna DeYoung a little bit tired there for UMass and doesn't go into the space quick enough. Willix just pulls her head up and it goes a little bit wide.
Now over halfway through overtime. Minutewomen know what this extra time feels like. It ended their season last year. They lost in a penalty shootout to Maryland in the NCAA tournament. St. Joseph's hasn't played an overtime game this season. McTeer down the sideline, kept in bounds by Bressler. Whistle gives the ball back to St. Joseph's. UMass has only played 1 overtime game this season. Game that went to double overtime, a 2-1 loss to Northwestern. Hawkshaw in the middle. Talented, using her stick handling. Hawkshaw at the 25. Gets it to Lucy Cooper inside the circle. Cooper centers. Kamarinka, an easy block down.
And it's going to be a free hit coming in.
Shauna Rankin-Byrne comes in as well. Has anchored the defense the last 4 years, began her career at UMass as an attacker. McTeer, a move inside, another move inside, gets around Serrano, she's inside the circle. McTeer continuing to make players miss.
Outstanding pulls, just pulls to the right, catches St. Joe's going, just sort of running at her, so she's able to just smoothly keep that ball on her stick. Excellent stick work, excellent skill.
Back and forth between McTeer and Kirsch. And now over to Rankin-Byrne. Quinn McGuire's come back on, she's defending. Into the corner for Bressler. And stuffed by Pepa Serrano.
Pepa Serrano did a great job of just being patient defensively, laying her stick down, giving UMass absolutely no opportunity to get behind her.
Bentz a long hit, trying to clear it. McTeer picks it off. McGuire coming in from behind. UMass settling things down. 5 minutes left to go in our first overtime period. This match has been so contentious, wouldn't be so surprising to see a second. Cooper inside the circle, working against Gerber, and Gerber wins the battle. Cooper gets it back. Cooper gets it inside. Bentz knocks it away. Was looking for Bressler in front of the cage.
Lucy Cooper trying to get a little bit of a corner there. Great defense by St. Joe's, not allowing it.
Rankenburn looking inside, tried to find Cooper. St. Joe's was there, but now taken away. Hawkshaw has a chance. Sarah Hawkshaw cracks a shot, but it dribbles wide. Another chance for UMass. They've put all the pressure on St. Joseph's in this overtime period.
It's been a little different. UMass comes in, Sarah Hawkshaw pulls it to her left side, tries that reverse stick. St. Joe's gets a deflection on it off the end line.
Off the feet of Georgie McTeer. That's a break for St. Joseph's.
This is a time of the game in the overtime where you're going to start to see some skill breakdown. The athletes are so tired.
Grace Horgan comes onto the field for UMass. Some fresh legs for Barb Weinberg's squad. 3.5 to play, tied at 2. A goal wins it here in overtime. St. Joseph's on the attack. Serrano plays it off to Jung's foot.
Yeah, the umpire's going to make her pull that ball back where it happened.
Serrano backing down Horgan. A give and go. Serrano inside the circle. She's been so dangerous in this area all tournament long. Serrano still going and earns a corner. Played it right off the foot of Grace Horgan.
Yeah, you could actually see that happening. Grace Horgan stood up a little bit, opened up her feet. Serrano saw it, and her outstanding stick work, she's able to just pull that ball reverse stick into Grace Horgan's foot.
Jolie Helder headed to the end line, ready to insert. Catherine Bentz, Peppa Serrano in on the mix. Quinn McGuire there as well.
The difference in overtime as opposed to regulation, you have 3 defenders and a goalkeeper that come out to defend the penalty corner. Offensively, you can put as many people on the circle as you would like.
Keep an eye on Anna Willix here, the Offensive Player of the Year. Ball comes out. Serrano stops. Willix off to Serrano. Serrano shots. It's blocked by Hawkshaw. Minute Women come up big. Can't switch the field. Gerber there to recover. St. Joe's still on the attack. McTeer slides to stop it. Excellent defense again from the Flyers coming out of the cage for UMass.
Yeah, that was really well read by UMass to come out, and then just an unforced error. Here it is. Sarah Hawkshaw comes from behind the trail position, does a great job to get her body out of the way and puts her stick in the lane.
"90 seconds left in the first overtime. Tied at 2. This overtime period is very much to mimic the 2 regulation halves of field hockey we saw. Chances for both sides, better defense from both sides.
Yeah, I think the defenses in both teams have played very, very well. They've been smart, they've been patient, and they've actually just paid attention to their details on defense, both team defense and individual defense.
1 minute remaining in the overtime period. St. Joseph's looking for a first A-10 championship title since 1995. UMass, they've won back-to-back A-10 championship titles. A win this afternoon would be a 3rd straight and the 5th in the last 6 years for the Minute Women. That's what you call a dynasty.
Yeah.
Under a minute to play. Gerber. McGuire. McGuire inside, around the end line. McGuire centers, knocked away by Georgie McTeer. Kersey there as well.
Great support position by Georgie McTeer, where she's able to cover the space going back to the stroke mark, and she's also able to protect her player.
Serrano working on the outside against a Jung. Serrano splits the defense. McGuire juggles. Kirsch is there. Under 20 seconds to play.
Smart play by Melanie Kirsch just to keep that ball on her stick. Poise, patience, and allow St. Joe's to put over the end line to give her team possession of the ball.
UMass and St. Joseph's have played today for now 85 minutes, and it's going to take a little bit more. Tied at 2, headed to a second overtime in the A-10 championship title game. Stick with us. This will be an exciting finish on the A-10 network.
Another good half, Dave. It's only 2 minutes.
What's Magis? Taking a full course load, doing an internship, and still finding time for research. Giving up your weekend to give back. When coach asks for 50 reps, but you do 80. Knowing that you're never finished learning. When you can see that good enough simply isn't. That's the Magis. Live greater. St. Joseph's University.
Study in a small, beautiful place with some of the biggest thinkers in the world. Pursue your passion and engineer your future. Learn from our research experts alongside our faculty. Study abroad and become a global citizen. The University of Rhode Island offers endless opportunities for you to compete on any level, achieve academic excellence, and make a difference in our world.
UMass Amherst students go on to win Academy Awards, Emmy Awards, and Grammy Awards. We win Nobel and Pulitzer Prizes. We win NBA championships, football titles, Stanley Cup championships, and Olympic gold medals. We get elected to public office and appointed to major posts. We've even flown in a spaceship 3 times. It's true what they say. Winners aren't born. They're made. UMass Amherst, the Commonwealth's flagship campus.
The job market is unpredictable. So I created my own job while I was still in school.
I feel like my community doesn't have a voice, so I speak up through my art.
There are potential health risks of being surrounded by smart technology, so we develop products that outsmart it.
The world's problems aren't waiting for me to graduate.
They're waiting to be solved.
That's how I make it real.
All tied at 2 as we start a second overtime at the A-10 championship final between UMass and St. Joseph's. The Hawks, the top seed in this tournament, finishing the regular season 17-3, 7-1 overall in A-10 play. Conference champions. UMass 13-7 overall, 6-2 in A-10 play. But you can throw all of that out the window now. A second overtime tied at 2.
Yeah, second overtime, winner take all. First goal is going to take the championship with this one, and this is a time when you still want to maintain possession of the ball, pick and choose your times to go forward. So you want to make sure you have numbers behind the ball in order to save yourself defensively. So it's a little, you have to try to decide, when am I going to take the chance, when am I going to play it safe? And the team that does that the best is probably going to come out on top.
Teams have switched sides now. You see UMass in the white jerseys, red numbers. They're on the left side of the field. St. Joseph's in the maroon jerseys on the right side of the field. This all made possible because of the equalizer from Georgie McTeer late in the second half of regulation. With just over a minute left to play, McTeer ripped a shot past Camarena on a penalty corner to tie the game at 2. Just a minute before that, Lucy Cooper gave UMass its first goal of the game. 2 goals scored for the Minutewomen in a minute and 12 seconds to force overtime, and now our second overtime period.
And you notice this overtime period, St. Joseph's putting a little bit more pressure on the UMass defenders.
Good move by Georgie McTeer right around Anna Willix. And here's Sarah Hawkshaw. We've been told all throughout this tournament how talented of a ball handler Sarah Hawkshaw is. Hasn't had much space to work. Defenses have done well to key in on her. She has space now, working against Peppa Serrano. Serrano loses her stick. Hawkshaw still with possession. Hawkshaw centers. Hawkshaw tries to get it inside to Bressler. Catherine Bentz there to put a stop to it.
And that ball's going out because Bressler actually put it up off the leg. Now Melanie Krusch has a little bit of a decision to make.
McGuire trying to go between the legs of Krusch. Couldn't make it cleanly.
That's a smart foul by Melanie Krusch in order not to give Quinn McGuire any space or speed to get behind her.
Peppa Serrano, first team All-A-10. Working with Quinn McGuire and Anna Willix down near the penalty circle. She goes to the turf against Georgia McTeer. Quick reset. On the outside of the circle, drops it back for Tice. St. Joseph's won 7-2 yesterday over Richmond. UMass 2-0 victors over VCU to punch their tickets to this A-10 championship title. Now it's a matter of who takes it. In this overtime period, the next goal does it. If we can't decide within the next 13 minutes and 9 seconds, we go to a shootout. Quinn McGuire in the corner on the end line, trying to get around Krush. Good defense from the 8-10 Defensive Player of the Year, Melanie Krush.
Excellent reverse stick defense on that end line there.
Neither team has fresh legs after playing 85-plus minutes. Which team can convert on an opportunity or a miscue first? Serrano, the sophomore. Backing down Lucy Cooper.
Yeah, Lucy Cooper got up, recovered, just a little bit of a stick foul.
Just outside the circle, Sophie DeJong makes a tackle. But it's a penalty corner for St. Joseph's. They had one penalty corner in the first overtime, and Hawkshaw was able to break it up. Let's see what happens now.
Sophie DeJong made a great tackle outside the circle, but her feet were backing up into the circle. The ball bounced over her stick, hit her feet, and that's what gave the penalty corner.
Jolie Helder on the end line for St. Joseph's. Peppa Serrano, Anna Willix, Quinn McGuire left to right, around the outside edge. Ball comes in from Helder, straight to Willix. Willix off to Serrano. She takes a shot, and it's knocked away by Melanie Kirsch. She flings her mask aside, fired up.
Great anticipation by the Trail players of UMass. Well executed corner.
Serrano battling, working toward the end line. She centers. McGuire takes a shot. Blocked by Hazard. That keeps the game alive. McGuire had a hat trick yesterday against Richmond and was simply denied there by Emily Hazard, the senior goalkeeper.
Excellent anticipation by Hazard to come out and block the space, do a slide tackle on her, not give her any room.
This Hazard's 5th season with
Here it
UMass,
is, great
a
play.
redshirt year.
Wide open, Emily Hazard comes out, blocks down all the space.
That right there is a season-saving save.
Yes.
Bit of a mouthful. Just about 5 minutes into our second overtime period. If you're just joining us, it's been exciting. Hazard kicks it back to DeJong after the ball went between her legs.
This is where St. Joe's has stepped up a little. They've decided they want to pressure UMass here, keep them on a corner. UMass has to do a little better job of finding the open spaces.
St. Joseph's pressured UMass all throughout that first half. We were scoreless after the first half. Here comes Lucy Cooper, has some space. Taken away by Helder. Now Helder with an opportunity. Willix to her right, that's where the ball goes. Anna Willix, the offensive player of the year, tripped up by DeJong. Whistle goes in UMass's favor.
You see a lot of the advantage happening in this overtime based on unforced errors of the teams, missed receptions, balls just being tapped a little bit further off their stick than they're used to. And that's what's going to make a difference in this game.
Jake Eiselberg with you alongside the USFHA Hall of Famer Patty Shea. Glad you've joined us for what's been perhaps the most exciting 8-10 championship final in recent memory. Double overtime between UMass and St. Joseph's. And here comes Georgie McTeer and the Minutewomen. Excellent defense from Catherine Bentz to allow St. Joseph's to reset their defense.
Georgie McTeer and Anna Dykstra worked that 2v1 and that give and go perfectly. Then excellent defense by St. Joe's in order to give absolutely nothing up to UMass.
Jordan Olenjinsky scored the first goal of this match on a ricochet off a penalty corner. Emily Henry scored the second goal of this match, both of them for St. Joseph's. Then it was 2 quick goals from UMass at the tail end of the second half. One from Lucy Cooper on a deflection, the other from Georgie McTeer off a penalty corner.
No!
8.5 minutes left in our second overtime. 8.5 minutes away from needing a shootout to decide it. Serrano working against Rankin Byrne. Rankin Byrne too strong. Shauna Rankin-Burn, second team All-A-10, has only missed 4 games since her redshirt freshman season. One of the 3 captains now for this Minute Women squad. Melanie Kirsch, the leading goal scorer for UMass. Hasn't scored in this tournament, however.
Great ball to split the defense there.
Kirsch using her long arms to take away the pass. Back to Rankin-Burn. Looking for an outlet to Dykstra. Jolie Helder comes in. Off to Serrano. Looking inside and nothing there.
Jolie Helder did an excellent job there of actually coming to the ball and therefore getting to that loose ball before Anna Dykstra. She was waiting for the ball to come to her. So she made Anna Dykstra a defender instead of giving her a breakaway.
Winner of this match earns a spot in the NCAA tournament. Automatic bid for the winner of this conference championship. For the loser, the season likely over. Neither team likely to earn an at-large bid. St. Joseph's a bit better of a chance to do that than UMass, but neither likely.
And it's games like this, it's a shame that somebody needs to lose this game.
It has been terrifically played all throughout by both St. Joseph's and UMass. Courtney Gerber slotting inside. Serrano slides, kicks it toward the cage, and Hazard does some kicking herself. Now a transition from UMass. Kersey traversing midfield, coming across. Hawkshaw to the left. Minute Women do not have numbers. It's a 2-on-4. And now Helder takes over. A quick reset. Helder moves outside. This is Emily Peters. Peters has some space and can't chase it down over the end line.
It was actually good defense by Melanie Krush. Got a little piece of the ball just to deflect it off the end line.
Willix moves inside, takes a shot, and there's a goal! The St. Joseph's Hawks are the A-10 championship winners. Anna Willix scores, and there's a new era of A-10 field hockey upon us. The Hawks with their first title since 1995. Emily Peters put the rebound home from the shot off Anna Willix's stick. A 3-2 final in our A-10 championship title game. It took double overtime, and the Hawks are victorious.
Excellent game. Anna Willix on that last goal. She uses the length in her arms to get away from Shauna Rankin-Burn, who was in an outstanding defensive position and just well executed. Reverse stick shot, and St. Joe's had great balance behind the UMass defense, able to finish that ball off.
We can get another look at the game-winning and championship-winning goal. Peppa Serrano, as always, started out facilitating. Anna Willix moved to the outside, took a shot, and right there on the edge of the cage, you can see Emily Peters put the ricochet home past Emily Hazard.
And Georgie McTeer just loses her a little bit behind. She's a little off of her.
And you can see the pure elation from St. Joseph's.
And you can see what happens is Emily Hazard is caught still moving a little bit as Anna Willix is taking this shot. So she's not set to push off and get that ball.
We talked about this at the top of the broadcast. We would either see history repeat itself and UMass win a 3rd straight title, or we would see a changing of the guard, a transfer of power in A-10 field hockey. St. Joseph's has been knocking on the door harder than anyone, and they broke through today.
St. Joe's played an excellent game. I thought strategically they played really well to press UMass, make some unforced errors. They did the same thing. They made the decision to step up in the second overtime period. They were able to get UMass and have UMass make some mistakes, and they capitalized on it. I thought Peppa Serrano controlled a lot in that game, and in both overtimes, she was the main factor in St. Joe's attack and St. Joe's defense.
The final goal scored by Emily Peters on the ricochet from Anna Willix. It gives the St. Joseph's Hawks a 3-2 win in double overtime in the A-10 championship. The Hawks, winners for the first time since 1995, and they're headed to the NCAA tournament. Thanks to Joe Valenti, our producer, Andreas Palacio in the truck as well, our cameramen, Aaron Feldman, Nate Surrey, and James Cloder. We're back with a trophy presentation after this. The Hawks, elated with their most recent champions, 3-2 winners in double overtime.
What's Magis? Taking a full course load, doing an internship, and still finding time for research. Giving up your weekend to give back. When coach asks for 50 reps, but you do 80. Knowing that you're never finished learning. When you can see that good enough simply isn't. That's the Magis. Live greater. St. Joseph's University.
Study in a small, beautiful place with some of the biggest thinkers in the world. Pursue your passion and engineer your future. Learn from our research experts alongside our faculty. Study abroad and become a global citizen. The University of Rhode Island offers endless opportunities.